Hi, my name is Espo, and today I'm excited to share my mission shadowing journey. And my mission is to promote access to quality education for street children and the youth who are refugees in Rwanda by establishing community learning hubs, building strategic partnership, and creating opportunities that empower every children to learn, grow, and thrive. This journey was more than completing an assignment. It encouraged my thinking, strengthened my skills, and brought me one step closer turning uh, this mission into reality. So for the next slide, let's look at my mission pathway. And I would like to start with a simple question. What if a child is eager to learn but never gets an opportunity? So that question stayed with me after visiting a refugee students and vulnerable family. I realized education is not only about classrooms or textbooks, it's about giving children hope, confidence, and opportunities to build a better future. That's why my mission focuses on creating a learning hub where vulnerable children can learn, grow, and then thrive. So, for the next slide, we have the skills I need for my mission, and every mission, as we know, requires preparation. I identified several skills uh, I need to become an effective educational leader, and these include communication, leadership, project management, partnership, building, fundraising, community engagement, and monitoring and evaluation. Developing these skills will help me transform ideas into sustainable education program that truly makes a difference. So let's go my mentors, and I quickly realized something important. I don't have to know everything. Learning from people who are already creating impact is one of the fastest way to grow. My first mentor was Ndabarishe Faustin, the Learning Hub coordinator at Learn Hub Rwanda. Through him, I wanted to understand how successful learning hubs are created. And so, for the matter of time, let's go for the next. Our second mentor was Happy Dennis from Talent Bridge Africa. His experience in leadership and partnership development helped me to understand how collaboration creates lasting community impact. So, let's go for the next slide, which is about professional outreach. Uh, Reaching out professionally was a learning experience on its own. I searched both mentors, wrote professional emails, followed up respect-free, scheduled interviews, and sent a thank you message afterwards. Although sending emails seems simple, it taught me confidence, professionalism, and importances of building meaningful relationships. So let's go in details to the mentors and start with the informational interview with Foster, the mentor one. One answer from him completely changed my think is when I asked what makes a learning hub successful. I expected him to mention funding or building things like that. Instead, he said trust comes first, I think, and that's really stayed with my in my head. I learned that successful learning hubs are built by listening communities, involving them in decisions, and creating solutions together rather than for them. So the leadership begins by listening in short. And let's go for the next interview with Mentor 2, which is Happy Dennis. During my conversation with him, we discussed leadership and partnership. He reminded me that solving a community challenges is never one person job. Strong partnership allows organization to combine resources, knowledge, and experience. His advice encouraged me to continue building relationship because sustainable change happens when people work together and towards a common goal. For the shadowing experience, So the first one was the my favorite, I think, experience while visiting a school. Like expected to observe teaching, instead I witnessed confidence being built. I saw teachers encouraging refugee students, creating a safe classroom and helping everyone feel valued. That experience reminded me that sometimes few encouraging words can completely change a child's attitude towards learning. Let's go for another meaningful experience I was in was visiting a vulnerable family in Masaka. Before offering any support, we simply listened. That taught me something powerful. Sometimes the greatest way to help someone is first understand their stories. Education challenges often begin outside the classroom, which means improving education also requires a supporting families and communities. So next we have uh, the mission-related events. One, visiting a refugee student at GS Nyabeki was incredibly inspiring. Despite facing many challenges, the student remained hopeful, motivated, and even eager to learn. They were not asking for sympathy, and they were asking like for opportunities for them. That strengthened my commitment to creating education opportunities that empowers those vulnerable children. So for the mission shadowing event too, together with friends, I also visited a family in Masaka. This experience was reminded me that education is connected to many aspects, as I can say, of life. Supporting children's education also means understanding families' realities, building a trust, and working with communities to remove barriers that prevent learning helps. So the next slide you have documentations I used. So the first one is evidence for the mentor one. Those are the emails I have sent. These are the responses, the thanking emails I've sent. The next slide is for shadowing documentation for mentor 2, and these are the emails also. For the next slide, the skills that are required and future plans. So looking ahead, I plan to strengthen my skills in fundraising, grant writing, partnership management, and education program design and monitoring evaluation. I will continue learning through mentorship, volunteering, professional training, and community engagement as we work towards establishing community learning hubs across Rwanda. That's my mission. Next slide, we have our mission shadowing documentation, the informational interview for mentor one, that is for stay, the question asked plus the responses he gave, and the reflection. And this is for mentor two, Apidenis, a worker at Talent Bridge Africa, a workers relationship officer. And the next slide we have more events, me inside the classroom, the students, me awarding students, me with first day, community engagement. These are the Google meeting with Dennis, since it is done with the Google Meet. So the major insights are, if I had to summarize this journey in 3 lessons, there will be this: first, leadership begins with services. Second, education requires collaboration. Additionally, your change starts by listening before acting. This lesson will continue guiding both my mission and my future career, as I can say, as we are concluding. So I would like to end with the final though. I started this journey believing I wanted to change education. Today I realized that changing education began with changing lives, one child, one family, and one community at a time. This mission shadowing experience has strengthened my commitment to making quality education more accessible for vulnerable children and refugee youth in Rwanda. So that's all. Thank you very much for listening to me.